Section 2.2, Slope and Rate of Change, Day 2. Here we're going to look at classifying parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines, they never intersect and they have the same slope, while perpendicular lines intersect to form a right angle and they have opposite reciprocal slopes. Here we want to determine whether the lines given are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So in example A, we have line 1, which has the points -3, 3, and 3, -1 on that line. So what we'll need to do is we'll find the slope of that line, which will be the change in y over the change in x, which will give us a slope of -2/3. For line 2, the change in y over the change in x, and this will give us a slope of 3/2. So if we compare the slope that we found for line 1, which was -2/3, to the slope of line 2, which is 3/2, we can see that those slopes are opposite reciprocals, so therefore we will conclude that these lines are perpendicular. If we look at example B, we'll do the same thing. We'll find the slope of line 1, change in y, change in x, and this will give us a slope of 1/2. Line 2, change in y over the change in x will also give us a slope of 1/2. The slopes are the same, therefore we can say that these lines are parallel. Here we want to look at a word problem using slope as a rate of change. In the Mojave Desert in California, temperatures can drop quickly from day to night. Suppose the temperature drops from 100 degrees Fahrenheit at 2 p.m. to 68 degrees Fahrenheit at 5 a.m. Find the average rate of change and use it to determine the temperature at 10 p.m. So our average rate of change in the context of this problem will be the change in the temperature divided by the change in time. So our change in temperature, we need to calculate how many degrees the temperature has dropped from 2 p.m. to 5 a.m. So if it was 100 degrees Fahrenheit and now it's 68 degrees Fahrenheit, that is a change of 32 degrees. So because it's dropping, our average rate of change is going to be minus 32 over our change in time. So from 2 p.m. to 5 a.m., that is 15 hours. So this gives us a slope or average rate of change of -2.1 degrees Fahrenheit per hour. So now we're going to use that to figure out what the temperature will be at 10 p.m. So at 2 p.m., we're at 100 degrees. And we want to know what the temperature will be at 10 p.m. So if for every hour we're dropping negative 2.1 degrees, we need to figure out the time change from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., which will be 8 hours. We'll take that 8 hours and we'll multiply that by the negative 2.1 change in temperature for each hour. And that gives us negative 16.8. So we'll take our 100 degrees at 2 p.m. and we'll subtract 16.8, and that will give us a new temperature of 83.2 degrees Fahrenheit at 10 p.m.